O.J. Simpson, a Heisman Trophy winner in 1968 and an NFL superstar from 1969 to 1979. In 1994, his life took a dramatic turn when authorities charged him with murdering his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend, Ron Goldman. Born on July 9, 1947, O.J. Simpson grew up in the Potrero Hill housing projects in San Francisco, California. Simpson displayed a talent for football from a young age, which would later lead to significant achievements and fame in his life. He attended Galileo High School in San Francisco, where he played football and ran track. After graduating in 1965, Simpson enrolled at City College of San Francisco, where he played both offense and defense and was named to the Junior College All-American team as a running back. O.J. Simpson attended the University of Southern California from 1967 to 1968. In his senior year, Simpson won the Heisman Trophy, awarded to the most outstanding player in college football. During the 1968 season, he set the NCAA single-season rushing record with 1,880 yards. Simpson finished his college career at USC with a total of 3,423 rushing yards and 36 touchdowns. He was a two-time unanimous All-American and was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 1983. Simpson's jersey number 32 was retired by USC in 1969. The Buffalo Bills selected O.J. Simpson with the first overall pick in the 1969 NFL Draft. From 1972 to 1976, Simpson was selected to 5 consecutive Pro Bowls. In 1973, Simpson became the first NFL player to rush for more than 2,000 yards in a single season, finishing with 2,003 rushing yards. He was named NFL MVP in 1973. Simpson played for the Buffalo Bills from 1969 to 1977, and during his time with the team, he led the league in rushing yards 4 times and rushing touchdowns twice. Simpson was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1985. During his 11-year NFL career, O.J. Simpson rushed for 11,236 yards, scored 61 rushing touchdowns, caught 203 passes for 2,142 yards, and added 14 receiving touchdowns. Simpson led the NFL in rushing yards 4 times and was selected to the All-Pro First Team 5 times. In 1985, he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Simpson was married to Nicole Brown from 1985 to 1992, and their divorce was finalized in 1992. In 1989, police responded to a domestic violence call at their home, and Simpson pleaded no contest to spousal abuse charges. He was ordered to perform community service, pay a fine, and attend counseling. No one could have foreseen the horrifying events that transpired on the fateful evening of June 12, 1994. Nicole Brown Simpson and her companion Ron Goldman were discovered savagely murdered outside her Los Angeles condominium. Evidence swiftly implicated O.J. Simpson as the primary suspect. 5 days after the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, O.J. Simpson was charged with 2 counts of murder. On June 17, 1994, Simpson was expected to turn himself into the police, but instead, he fled in a white Ford Bronco SUV driven by his friend Al Cowlings. The police pursued the vehicle in a low-speed chase that was broadcast live on television with an estimated 95 million viewers watching. The chase lasted approximately 2 hours and ended at Simpson's residence, where he eventually surrendered to the authorities. Simpson was then arrested and taken into custody. Subsequent to the pursuit, Simpson was apprehended and charged with double homicide. His ensuing murder trial evolved into a media frenzy, commanding news coverage for months on end. Prosecutors presented a compelling case with a blood-stained glove recovered at Simpson's estate, matching one abandoned at the crime scene, and DNA evidence collected. O.J. Simpson's legal team, which included attorneys Johnny Cochran and Robert Shapiro, argued that the Los Angeles Police Department had planted evidence and mishandled the investigation due to racial bias. During the trial, Simpson was asked to try on a pair of gloves that were found at the crime scene and at his estate. The gloves appeared to be too small for his hands, leading Cochran to deliver the famous line, "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit." The trial lasted from January to October 1995, and the jury deliberated for less than 4 hours before reaching a verdict of not guilty on both counts of murder. Racial tensions permeated the proceedings and sharply divided public sentiment along racial lines. Numerous African Americans perceived Simpson's predicament as emblematic of a criminal justice system prejudiced against black men. Meanwhile, the majority of white Americans were persuaded of his culpability culpability and couldn't comprehend an acquittal. Following a trial spanning over 8 months, the jury delivered a startling verdict on October 3, 1995, not guilty on all charges. Simpson, astonishingly, was now a free man. But the court of public opinion was far less charitable. Millions of Americans voiced outrage at what they deemed a miscarriage of justice. The loved ones of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman refused to allow the criminal acquittal to be the ultimate verdict. In 1997, a civil jury unanimously held Simpson liable for wrongful death, awarding the victims' families $33.5 million in damages, a judgment that remains largely unsatisfied. Post-acquittal, Simpson morphed into a social outcast, his name synonymous with escaping justice. He was ostracized by the celebrity and corporate realms where he once flourished. Crank calls, physical confrontations, and financial woes plagued his life after the trial. In a final ignominy, his 1968 Heisman Trophy was pilfered from USC in 1994, though it was retrieved years later. Simpson, in a misguided effort at image restoration, penned a book in 2006 titled "If I Did It: A Hypothetical Admission to the Murders." Public outcry was immediate and fierce, compelling the publisher to scrap the book's release. The Goldman family eventually obtained rights to the manuscript and published it themselves. Just when it appeared O.J. had reached rock bottom, another shocking offense landed him in prison. In 2007, Simpson and a posse of associates robbed 2 sports memorabilia dealers at gunpoint in a Las Vegas hotel room, attempting to reclaim items Simpson alleged were stolen from him. Apprehended and charged with armed robbery and kidnapping, Simpson's past seemed to ultimately catch up with him. In 2008, he was convicted on all counts and sentenced to 33 years behind bars. Paradoxically, 13 years to the day of his murder acquittal, Simpson was now inmate 1027820, his descent from grace complete. Paroled in 2017 after serving 9 years, the septuagenarian Simpson now leads a comparatively quiet existence in Las Vegas, golfing and maintaining a low profile. For a public that once celebrated his every touchdown dash, Simpson is now a figure of ignominy, his name uttered with disdain and ridicule. The O.J. Simpson saga will persist as a pivotal juncture in American history, laying bare the fault lines of race, celebrity, criminal justice, and hero worship. This Heisman hero's dizzying plunge, from the zenith of adulation to the nadir of revulsion, endures as one of the most dramatic and tragic narratives in contemporary American life. The downfall of O.J. Simpson compels us to wrestle with some weighty questions. How do we reconcile with toppled idols? Can immense talent excuse unforgivable actions? What prejudices tint our assessment in emotionally charged cases? We are eager to hear your reflections in the comments section. If you found this video illuminating, please like and subscribe to Legends of the Game. We appreciate you tuning in.